Hey! Welcome to the Ramble Radio, motherfucker! Yeah! This is 318. Did you know that?
Oh, 318.
313.
Sounds like an area code.
It kind of is. Has to be.
Has to be, I would imagine.
Do we look it up so that's what we know what to name?
Oh,
this show
yeah.
after?
We could dedicate it to whatever area code that is for.
Do you want to guess?
Ooh, 318?
Yeah.
Sounds Texas.
Close.
What is
Close.
it? New Mexico.
Louisiana.
Louisiana, other side. Okay.
Northern Louisiana.
Okay. Other side.
There it is. So this is like the especially shitty part of Louisiana. No offense to Zach Dahlem, because I think he's there.
Yeah.
I think that's where he lives. He's in the... Look, we don't mean you.
No, not at all.
But, I mean, that's the only time I've ever met an honest-to-good... Not that I haven't before.
Yeah.
But that was the only time I met an honest-to-goodsman guy who bragged that he was in the KKK. Was at a show in Monroe, Louisiana, which would be the 318.
Okay.
So there's that.
There is that. So.
And you think it's just you and I today?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I don't know how he's here. This E. Jean Carroll thing is...
Wow.
It's not looking good. But here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Cody Villafania. He took time out of his rough, what can only be not the best day of, thank you for being here, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Major feat.
Skeletor is not the only one with contractual obligations.
That's true. Well, there it is. True. There we go. There we go. And oh man, well here we are, Ramble 318. Everyone, isn't this exciting?
Very exciting.
Isn't this exciting? Oh, do us a favor. Subscribe to the Ramble if you haven't already. Maybe a positive text review. Maybe a 5-star rating. We're now at 308, 330, 138. 138.
300. You got me really excited.
I got very excited. 138 5-star ratings. And there's a new king of the hill.
Who?
Meet the new boss. Same as the old boss. Locker Miltic is back. Locker Miltic, who had a San Martino-like run.
He did. Very lengthy run.
But he takes a shot at Cody. It's tongue-in-cheek. Mm-hmm. But he takes a shot. Cody, don't. But he says, the champ is here. The podcast has 2 great hosts and one that just stick to day baseball. I think they just want to get the day baseball jabs in any way they can, Cody. Eddie and Jerry talk about anything and everything, starting the petition for Skeletor to become the permanent third host. You could move the show to the only place in Eternia big enough to fit all 3 egos. Now we've taken a shot at Eddie and I and Skeletor. Wow. Thank you. What? I'm sorry, but he's scorched earth on Cody, on you, on me, on Skeletor. And then you ready for the final sentence?
Yeah.
Thanks to Born to Run and Seahawks fan for keeping the throne warm.
Wow.
In my absence. Who do you think you are? I am.
Full heel turn.
Wow. Locker Miltic with a
full
massive heel turn promo. He
Bash
just cut
the Beach-esque.
He cut it on all of us. He just cut it on all of us. He basically just said, first, I want all these people here to shut the hell up. That's what he just, man. Wow. Whew. Man. Well, but I mean, we still appreciate the shout out, the placement.
I suppose.
What we're after. It's what we're after.
It's all we care about.
It's all we care about is now, I think something very monumental happened over this past weekend. I think we all 3 had something that hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah.
There was a Marvel movie the 3 of us enjoyed. That was rare air. That was Guardians 3 rarefied in the fact that it is the first Marvel movie probably since Endgame that all 3 of us gave a universal enjoyment to. So it's and I saw it again. I took Andrea.
Yeah, I got to see it again.
I knew she would really enjoy it, and she did. And yeah, it was very, very well done. I think
it didn't go as dark as I thought it was going to go.
But then it kind of does because
It does, but at the end,
they basically kill off 3 children. Like they just murder 3 adorable children.
and they kill a planet of people.
Yeah, they kill a planet of people.
They do.
And,
spoilers, if anyone hasn't
spoilers,
seen it. Spoilers.
And 3 adorable little kids get murdered.
But I was thinking more along the lines of going dark with the core group of the Guardians.
Right. And I think James Gunn knew that fans thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I like
the Marvel trailer made you think that was going to happen.
Right. And I think, but I'm talking about as he was writing the movie.
Yeah.
Right. As before all that, I'm sure he knew there was going to be nothing but speculation over who was going to die.
Yeah.
And I think he purposely crafted a few scenes to be like, oh, well, shit, this is it. And not. Like when Nathan Fillion shoots Drax in the...
Yeah.
The way that was shot like, oh, this guy's about to die with the slow motion and all that. But yeah, I think he cleverly was like, all right, I'm going to fuck with everyone and make everyone think these are going to be, oh, this one's dead. Oh, and then, nope, they're not. So yeah, so I was thoroughly, I also liked the breaking free of the 70s and 80s for the soundtrack.
Yeah, he went 90s and ended in 2000s.
That wasn't bad either. We got some good
best use of a Beastie Boys song ever in a movie.
Well, I think some Star Trek 3 fans would disagree with you.
But which ones on that movie? Seriously,
I liked it. I didn't mind part 3. Not Search for Spock, but the other one. Cody, did Star Trek 3, was that, no, well, it was Into Darkness was the one everyone hated.
That was
right? The con one.
That was
right?
the con one.
See, I remember everyone hated that, but I liked that one too.
I didn't hate that one. I just saw it. Yeah, I just knew what it was from the beginning. There was no big reveal.
Right. I mean, there's a quiet, I should say a loud minority that hated that movie because it was well received. It was like it's at like 84% on Rotten Tomatoes.
The third one, right? Or part 2?
The second one.
The second one.
Into Darkness.
I didn't mind the second one.
I liked it.
It just pissed off fans
because they did the turn.
Yeah,
they flipped it, which was fine.
Yeah,
like that was fine. That was I really enjoyed. I didn't hate part 3 either. But yes, this probably was the best use of a Beastie Boys song,
and probably the best slow motion hero group walk shot since Reservoir Dogs.
It was great. That was fucking great. That was a great one, and especially the Gamora just going, okay, fuck it, I'm in.
Yeah,
at the end, that was great, and that's why I know my cousin complained that he thought that the battle against the High Evolutionary just kind of was too fast, but I was like, where else can you go after No Sleep Till Brooklyn? That's the action money shot.
That was the battle scene.
That entire sequence was. It was kind of like Neo flying up at the end of the Matrix. Like you know they're gonna win.
Yeah.
After that scene, they all figured out. Gamora. They all worked together again. Nothing was gonna stop them. That's kind of the point of that scene. I thought, right? So, yeah. So I didn't mind that either. And I know. Cody, you thought the villain still needed work, right? The High Evolutionary.
Yeah, well, I mean, how can I put this? I think that it was not a very like well-rounded villain. I think it was just like evil for the sake of evil.
Right.
But then I also think that like even though the character ends up like I know why the character's in there, I think that the High Evolutionary and Adam Warlock are kind of redundant characters. I don't think you need for the story to work. I don't think you need both of them.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think they, obviously why they needed Warlock in there. But you're right. Warlock was he was basically Drax, right? From the first movie. And so that's why I thought it was good that they kind of used him sparingly because he was kind of the same person.
Well, they had to have him in there because the way 2 ended.
Right.
Teased him. So you had to put him in there, but they had no real use for him in the film.
Right.
Other than like, well, here he is.
Yes.
If we do another Guardians movie, he's in the Guardians.
He's in it. But, and I thought I agree with you. I thought the one moment I thought with the High Evolutionary that helped make him be a little less just evil for the sake of being evil is that one line when he snaps at his little minion and he just screams, "There is no God. That's why I stepped in." And you're like, okay, that something fucked up happened to this guy. You know what I mean? Like, there it was. Now, it would have been interesting maybe to see more of that, because you're right. Like, he kind of was, I think maybe had he been in it more, that might have helped flesh it out. But what I did like about him was the way he was, when he has baby Rocket on his lap and he's being very sweet to it, but then he just grabs his head and you're like, oh, you know, like, you're just like, I really loved that little scene with him. I thought that
it was very father-son, but like there's something underneath there where it's like this guy can snap at any point.
Right.
And then it sort of kept that relationship up until Rocket Raccoon became smarter than him.
Right.
And then you can't live anymore.
You can't do that. And I also love the subtlety of, and it wasn't that subtle, but how he did it. The actor who I don't remember him from John Wick 2. I got to watch it again because he was in that, right? Like, it was that one of the more high profile things he's done before this, I think, was John Wick 2. But like, that one scene when Rocket mispronounces can't to him, and you just see that like rage just completely take over, right? And he's just like, can't, you know, like he just, I thought that was a good, I mean, the guy was a really good actor, but yeah, like I kind of wanted to see a little more. If there's any complaint I had about the film, it was like, maybe I could, but I was happy. You know, I still really enjoyed it. It was, and I think it's good that we're getting a big layoff, like, well, for Marvel, a big layoff with a, winter until we get Marvels. And I also like that Marvels seems to be a very odd, quirky concept of a plot. So hopefully that will help it kind of stand up on its own too. You know what I mean? Like,
but in the meantime, we have Loki 2 and
I'm talking about movies, just
Invasion.
Just
but I'm saying,
stuff.
As far as movies go, as far as Marvel goes,
I meant the movies. Like, it's nice to have like a few months off of having another big motion picture to it's here. I tell you the problem I had with Guardians 3. I think my actual real problem with the movie personally, and it was my same problem with Andor, was that it kind of makes everything that's come before it not look so good anymore. Even the stuff I enjoyed, just it kind of was like, oh right, this is how this should be done. And it kind of like, my one problem with Andor was it's kind of ruined all the other Disney Plus shows for me. I'll still watch them, I'll still get excited to see them, but it's like, yeah, this thing did it, like this knocked it out of the park. Whereas, you kind of see where a lot of the faults lie with the other, because I just like all the characters. I kind of mark out every time I go in, but this one was like, oh, right. This is the better way to do this.
Well, how much is the MCU going to miss James Gunn now?
I wonder, or how much did they need him kind of under Feige kind of holding?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've seen him unleashed with Suicide Squad, and I didn't particularly care for that movie.
Wasn't that good? Like,
I did like Peacemaker as the series.
I've heard Peacemaker was good, but Suicide Squad I didn't think was that good. So
we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, he's going to be. He's going to call the shots in DC, so we'll see what happens. But I think you're going to miss him in the MCU.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people thought him and Taika Waititi were sort of the same level, and then after Thor: Love and Thunder, and then this, you could see where, like, okay, James Gunn might be the better.
With this kind of material, Gunn gets it better than anyone has.
And
the Russo brothers, but they're not as lighthearted. Right. They go far more,
But as far as having a comic book feel and sort of walking that walk and balancing the funny and the serious and getting the source material.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody does it better than James Gunn.
And I also think it's good that Batista's retiring the character, because I don't know, like, I thought it was pretty impressive that they've made Drax the funniest part of this 3 movies in a row. Yeah. Like, eventually that's going to run dry, but the fact that he was still really funny and his moments were still legit.
But he had his shirt on the whole time this
it movie. Did, right, yeah.
He didn't go shirtless this movie.
But the fact that he was just legitimately still the funniest part of the
being the same note, being the same exact
note. And he made they knew how to make that work so perfectly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And our first Marvel F-bomb.
First Disney F-bomb.
First Disney F-bomb, right?
Right. Was this one, which was pretty interesting too. That was
And I read that they came up with it while they were shooting the scene, and Gunn told Pratt, just say it, and they kept it in.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Well, that's interesting how Andor did not, because Andor was going to have that word.
Yeah.
At the hologram speech at the end, Eddie.
Yeah.
With the aunt or the adopted mother.
Yeah.
She was supposed to say "fuck the Empire."
Right.
But instead she said "fight the Empire." Right. But she was supposed to say "fuck the Empire." But maybe probably because it was a TV show, that might have been more of a reason. But
possibly.
Yeah, that was, man. Whew, it was good. It was.
But was that Disney just dipping their toe in the water for Deadpool 3? Just like, all right, we're just gonna see how this goes.
Let's see. Yeah, Cody, was you the one who sent me? Cody, did you send me The Little Mermaid Rise of the Beasts?
I don't think so.
You sent it to me where they played.
So one of the theaters somewhere showing Guardians opening premiere night. I don't know how. I've never seen this happen. But apparently the projection is fucked up and ran The Little Mermaid and the Transformers Rise of the Beast trailer at the same time. And it made it look like the most insane batshit movie you'll ever fucking see in your life. Like, they're just like superimposed over each other. Like, and it's the soundtrack for Little Mermaid. So it's all the Little Mermaid vocals are happening while you're seeing like all the Transformers shit. Like it's pretty fucking interesting. I'm surprised that, I'm sure it's happened before, but nowadays where everyone can just record shit, you know. I'm wondering if it probably happened the trailer before, and that's when somebody decided, okay, let me take out the phone and see this. But and then Cody, did you see Guardians in IMAX by any chance?
I did.
Dude, I don't know if you got the same thing here. And I'm not saying the guy makes bad movies. Some I really like, some I really don't. But Jesus Christ, do they just give Christopher Nolan the push of every... I mean, that guy gets his own right when IMAX lights dim. Oh, hold on. We got to show you Oppenheimer trailer. And the push they give this guy.
But literally, it's been like a 6-month push for this movie.
Right.
It doesn't come out until July anyway.
Yeah.
But also, the difference is, and not to, defend too much, but... Nolan's movies are shot on IMAX.
That's
IMAX.
true. That's true.
And stuff like Guardians is formatted for IMAX, which essentially just means it's blown up on a big screen.
Whereas Oppenheimer, you're actually seeing how it's meant to be seen, correct?
Yes, they're shot
IMAX.
with IMAX cameras.
Right.
And so that's why Nolan always gets the big push, is because, and I think it used to be, so if you remember... where, like, The Dark Knight, for example, where certain scenes were shot in IMAX, which is why even if you watch at home, you'll get like a letterboxed version, and then it'll go full screen because those are the IMAX ones. Now he's shooting full movies in IMAX, and so
is he the first one to do this, or the Mission Impossibles do too now? Right, the new Mission Impossibles do it also. I don't remember.
I believe Nolan is the first one to ever shoot an entire feature-length movie in IMAX. I could be wrong about that, but.
And what makes me curious about Oppenheimer is none of this screams you have to see this in IMAX.
Yeah.
Right? Like the story of the guy, because it seems like a very real dramatic.
It doesn't seem epic or cinematic in that way.
It's just about a human being's probably fall, and because wasn't Oppenheimer the guy who did the Hindu quote of "I am death, destroyer of worlds" or whatever? Like that's what he's known for. So clearly, I just don't know if that is, like, I don't know if I need to go see Raging Bull on an IMAX screen, but I don't know. Like, have you heard any early word on it, Cody? On Oppenheimer?
No,
because nobody's seen it, right? No critic has seen it yet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's I'm looking at like the full movies, like full length movies shot with full IMAX film, and most of it is just like educational stuff or nature stuff.
Right.
Nolan hasn't even done it. It looks like Oppenheimer even now is only partially shot
Wow.
Because you can only run it for like a certain amount of seconds.
Okay. Yep.
And so it's difficult to do full movies with like long scenes in them. So.
Yeah. And I have one last thing. We're watching that. What's the new Dracula movie? The Curse of the Demeter, or the Last Voyage of the Demeter. And I don't know. Like, how many more? How many more movies is Dracula gonna be in? Is that like? I think him and Sherlock Holmes have the record, and maybe it'll be good. But Jesus Christ, everyone's like, oh, here we go again, another Superman, motherfucker. Dracula's got him lapped like 40 times over. Yeah. With how many stories, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be good.
They put Blade on hold because of the writer's strike.
That's right. That's it might go on longer too. Thank God the Ramble doesn't have writers. We're gonna be fine.
We can't afford writers.
We can't afford them. So maybe if that Hemp Vita money, once that Hemp Vita check clears,
once we clear that check,
we'll be good.
We'll track down that money.
But we do have contractual.
All right.
Yeah, I know. Nobody is excited.
Skeletor. Here in Hollywood, we're in the midst of a writer's strike, so it's sort of shut down all production here in Hollywood. Have you ever been part of a walkout, of a strike, when you felt the conditions of work where you worked weren't living up to what they need to be for you?
Eddie, that's a wonderful question, and I'm glad that you've asked me. Only one time, and it was at the sperm bank in Eternia, when they basically told me we need other sperm, and you need to quit, and what I was doing was I wasn't donating my sperm into a petri dish or anything like that. I would just fuck the women who wanted to have a baby. I would just fuck them. And they were like, we can't have this. They kicked me out. It was, believe me when I say this, everybody was upset. All the women were crying. Nobody wanted me to leave, so I went on strike. And I said, well, I'm not fucking anyone. Okay? And there it is. And I still have about, 9.8 million gallons of jizz.
Wow.
Ready for some lucky recipient. Whoever that may be. I'm, stored up right. It's in the only place that can hold so much jizz. He-Man's mother's pussy! How about that?
Yeah.
Follow that, Viafana!
Oh, now he's just goading you.
He's planning it out now.
I don't know why I'm targeted here.
Right. Man, that is...
It's not fair to you.
It's terrible. Cody, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Where can the fine folk find you?
Yeah. Well, check out the Cinesnot podcast. If you want our full thoughts on our full review of Guardians 3,
yes,
that is up and available now.
It's here now, people. There's nothing to wait for.
Yeah.
You subscribe and you get it.
And then after you listen, leave a positive text review on Apple Podcasts if you can. Right. And then this week we'll be covering, let's see, the still Michael J. Fox documentary.
Oh.
We're covering a movie called Fool's Paradise, which is Charlie Day's directorial debut.
Oh.
We are covering Chop and Steal, a documentary about these guys who basically pranked news stations by being a fake strongman team. And they would infiltrate local news morning shows, just doing stupid shit.
That stuff never gets old. That's great.
It's great. And then we're also covering BlackBerry, the movie about the formation of the BlackBerry device, which is I saw it at South by, and it's really good. So.
Oh, what is it? Dramatic? Is it drama or is it a documentary?
It's a drama. Well, it's actually a comedy with some dramatic elements. It's designed as a comedy. So.
Well, there we go. All right. Eddie, where can all the fine folk find you?
5 days a week, patreon.com, The Ralph Report. Tuesdays, Fridays, Ramble Radio. Wednesdays, Ramble Proper.
I stand with any sportscaster who says a slur.
All right. There we go. That was
just a blanket statement.
What did that? Nobody asked him. What the fuck was that?
This just comes out in support of anyone who says a racial slur.
No, just sportscasters.
It's okay. Just sportscasters that come out with racial slurs. Not even on accident, but even on purpose.
Not even right.
Intentionally, he still supports them.
Whew. Well, you can find me in all the same Ramble places. You can find these fine gents, and also on Twitch, twitch.tv/RetroRocha, and my YouTube channel, where I try to put as much content up as possible. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to see you, guess what, tomorrow for a whole nother Ramble.
Sure.
All right, so you stay safe, everyone. Take care, and until next time, we love you.